Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of R&B Reviews. I'm Brinder, this is Ridwan, and today we're going to be talking about Loki, Season 1, Episode 1. Let's just get right into it, man. What do you think?
I think...
Yeah, how you doing?
Honestly, I'll put a disclaimer. So I didn't watch it in the best of conditions. I was a little bit sleepy when I was watching it, so it wasn't like the best thing, like the best way to watch an episode, but I was confused through the whole thing, unless there was like... I just didn't understand fully what they were trying to do with that episode, and I found it like extremely boring. And then there were some parts that were like kind of interesting, and they were just like, oh, like maybe your goal in life is to not reach your goals so that you make other people better. So I was like, that was like the biggest quote that stood out in that like episode. But I don't know, I feel like there are so many things that I missed, and there's so many like recaps to when he was in the like MCU and stuff like that I don't know. I was just super slow, super boring. How did you feel about the episode?
I think it was alright. Like, it wasn't a bad watch. I was watching it late at night. I just happened to turn it on, and it really reminded me of the DC show, Legends of Tomorrow. With the Time Bureau and everything like that. Their whole thing is anomalies, just catch them, put them back, set the timeline straight. So it was very like, I'm gonna have to like see a show with that same type of storyline.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really excited for that, but seeing Loki again was cool. Everything was a little like oranged. Everything was orange. Yeah.
Like the filter for the show.
Yeah, it was just like it was weird color scheme there, but it wasn't bad. Like, I definitely don't think like somebody first episode said this is better than Falcon and WandaVision. I don't know how people think like that.
The Loki first episode was better. Oh my
they're like this.
People
this
just say whatever.
They said this is gonna be better than both of those series. I was just shocked, man.
I thought before I watched it, I watched the trailer. I was like, oh, this could be better, but there's no way I watched that first episode and was like, yeah, this is gonna be the one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little better than Falcon, but it can prove me wrong for sure. Like, there's room for it to go downhill.
I think it has the possibility of being funnier than the like other two, but that's it. Like, that's where it stops. Like, I was watching, I was like, oh, this could be like a bit funny, and I seen like them trying to put jokes in there, but I don't know, like it's hard with it being the first episode, so I'm not judging it at all.
What was the funny parts for you?
Just the guy when he was speaking to like the lady and stuff like that. It's just the corny, super corny jokes. I don't really remember them, but like I love like corny jokes. Like kill me. So like when he was talking to like the judge, I found that scene funny. That character specifically is funny to me. I don't remember what his name.
Loki?
No, the detective.
Oh yeah, I don't know his name.
That character was funny. What Loki's whole point of like I know they want to use. They said they want to use Loki to help catch himself Loki,
yeah,
and stuff like that. So like, and then Loki is just like, oh, like I don't like hurting people and stuff like that. Like, it was just so, I don't know what the episode was trying to get at, but like
it's like trying to like get deep into the character, like, but it's doing like it's just diving right in, and it's like I don't care to see it like that. They're already having like a psychology meeting, like,
yeah,
how do you do the things that you do? It's like,
what was the point of that?
Like, we already saw like Loki as like one of those anti-heroes anyways, so like we didn't need this specifically, and it could have been taken throughout the series for us to be told. A lot of time things going on where it's like branch timelines and stuff like that. Did that all make sense to you?
No, like I know they said that what's meant to happen in the timeline will happen in the timeline or something like that. Like they review timeline. It. And then the one Loki asked him like, oh, so is this allowed? And then he's like, it's not about being allowed or disallowed. It's just about what's supposed to be. Yeah. And then like stuff like that. So like, it just seems so confusing as to why Loki is like this like bad guy in the time. I don't know. Like, it was just so messed up. And they do try to explain it, but I feel like with anything single like time plot you try to explain,
it just gets more confusing.
Yeah, and it can always be broken because it's not real, right?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be plot holes in the time thing. Like, do you feel like compare this timeline explanation to like the Marvel universe? Well, this is part of the Marvel universe, but the original like timeline
it was just it was confusing because I remember, especially with the soul stones, you know how they said, well, we use it for paperweights.
Yeah.
I was like, so we were told by like the Sorcerer Supreme, the one prior to Doctor Strange, in Endgame when Hulk travels back and talks to her in 2012 New York. So she says, if you remove an Infinity Stone, it creates a branch timeline. And then Hulk says, well, what if we return it back to its original spot? So I guess in the whole grand scheme of things, that's what was meant to happen. They were supposed to create branch timelines that Cap puts back to normal. But then how are there like several different Infinity Stones? Like
in their office?
Yeah, so if one was taken away, that created a branch timeline. My coworker said, oh, because they destroyed that timeline by having that little purple explosion thing. But it's like, that's just a shitty explanation. It's terrible. And if everything's meant to happen, then any situation that we run into going forward is like meaningless, because whatever the outcome was, it was meant to happen. Like, it's not like they willed their way to do it.
Yeah. Honestly, that part I kind of understand, and like I it's like a dilemma or debate that people have, like, is everything destined or not?
Is it fate or not? Yeah.
So I kind of get that, but then now that you explain that, like, whole, I don't know how, but you explain the soul stone thing to me, actually helped me put into perspective where the society lies, because the society doesn't lie on a specific timeline. Like, it feels like here's like a timeline thing, and then the society lies like here, and then there's all these different timelines, and they hop between timelines. So before you like explain that, now like I have a better idea of like that society, and then like,
well, that's why you come to R&B Reviews, man.
And then like the soul stones and stuff in the drawer, like the drawer, why don't they work in that time? But then I realized like maybe they only have power within that, like
within that universe timeline, because they're supposed to be like away from the actual timeline. They're in a place created by the timekeepers, the three of them. Don't know their names, but they're like from comic books and such. So they're in an area, and they said they're created by the timekeepers to maintain the timeline. So another question would be like, okay, if they're created, why are they human? Why are they humanoid people? And like, why do they do everything that we do? Why do they speak everything the way we speak?
No, because remember they hopefully I'm thinking about the right show. No, remember he made a joke to the girl. And then he's just like, or he's speaking to the girl in like another language. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I know all the guards, like, I know all the timelines. I know all the languages of the timelines too. Yeah. So that kind of explains why they speak like other languages.
They do, but like they show us him speaking French. But so why do they all speak English? And why are they all human? Like, why wouldn't they be a different race?
The human thing, I don't know. But the language thing, they kind of explained it like, oh, like they know all the timeline languages.
So yeah, but why would you? Okay, if you know every language, like say you know multiple languages, right? But when you're at home, like you're talking in your native tongue, like, right?
Yeah.
So, what is their native tongue? It's probably not English.
That's a good point. So
from one Earth, from one timeline, I don't know. It was just a little weird, and then just having the fact that like, I don't want a show where Loki's going to be traveling back in time, fixing variant issues. Like, I just don't want that, because I've seen a show like that, and it was just, like, hard to watch. I only watched it because it was a DC show, and I wanted to finish it.
This is where I disagree with you, because I feel like
Loki would make it better.
Loki would be, like, I look at it as a detective show, like Yu Yu Hakusho. So I feel like he's going to be going around, and then, like I guess I see what you're talking about, but I don't see it as like DC Legends of Tomorrow. I see him like going around trying to like find somebody, but I feel like it being DC Legends of Tomorrow had sections where it'd be like, okay, we're gonna go to this timeline and have like this special event, and then on the next episode we're gonna go to this timeline, and they were linked, but they weren't strongly linked. I feel like this is gonna be like super linked together, and it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be more of a detective show. They just happen to use time as like the background, so I feel like it's still gonna be.
It'll be better than like Legend of Tomorrow, no doubt, because the DC shows were bad at the end there.
Yeah, none of them had like a good like finale.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like super exciting. Like if you were to like, we normally rate things at the end, but we'll just jump into it. Like this is like a 6. It's like a 6 for me.
It's hard for me to rate like the first episode, like, and I don't want to judge it. Like, if when I give it a 5, I'm just giving it a 5 because like I don't know, like I just didn't like the first episode. I'll be honest with you, but we'll see what happens with like the second and the third episode. Like I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch the whole season of this. That's literally what was going through my head.
The good part is like there's only 6 episodes, so it's not like crazy long.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. It is gonna be, I guess it's kind of long as long as WandaVision if you count like the 40-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Another thing that was noticed is like I was trying to as they were showing us things through the TVA, like the posters or the notes or anything like that, I was just like, I paused it, let me take a look, let me read, just to make sure. Loki's thing, so you know when they show him like arrested or whatever, they have his mugshot, they have his description.
Yeah.
So it said like Laufey's son, because he's not Odin's son, he's actually Laufey, the king of the frost giants.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And then they said sex was fluid, so he's not like male or female, or he could be both. So a lot of people are expecting in the comics there's a female Loki that does stuff like this, so they're expecting the person that they're looking for is a female Loki.
That would be pretty cool.
Which would be pretty cool. I think in the comics, because it's a different like timeline, she's played by she's the same person that plays like Odin's guard. You know, the female one? Not Odin, Thor's friend.
Yeah.
She's like a warrior. She was like the first Thor movie, and then she just like fell off. She was supposed to play
the female Loki.
That character in the comics plays female Loki.
That character.
I'll have to show you after, but it's really cool, and I hope they use the same actress because I thought she was bad.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and then another thing I noticed was like the judge that resides over Loki's case. I thought she was cute too. You know.
You know what I like about the timekeepers?
The TVA.
They really about putting like people of color in higher positions, you know.
That's what you felt.
That's as soon as I saw that, they're like, oh, the black they have like a black judge. So I was like, you know what, they're actually showing a lot of representation. So I was just
it's Marvel, man. They're owned by Disney now. Disney used to be racist, but
I don't look at it as a Disney thing. I look at it as like a timekeepers thing. You know, they respect. That's what happens when you have like everyone at the same level. I'm just saying.
That's what they do. They accomplish greatness. They had
a black woman at the thing. It just
they accomplish greatness.
No boost. I don't know. That's how I seen it.
So apparently Kang the Conqueror is the lover to that girl you're thinking of, that judge.
The judge?
Yeah. So she has a relationship with Kang the Conqueror in comics, and then Kang is played by a certain character. I think is a black actor that's going to be playing him. That's all speculation for sure, but that's what's rumored to happen. Overall, there's nothing else I could find that was like hidden secrets or like Easter eggs or anything like that.
I couldn't find it. Like, I'm the wrong person to go to ask about this because like there's nothing that I would have been able to find. Is there something missing from this like first episode that you wanted to see? I wanted it like I understand like, oh, okay, what, like he's from like the MCU, but I already know that. So like I feel like they're doing like a lot of background stuff that I didn't care about. Like, you know what I noticed about the like these like shows, and there's like 6 episodes. I used to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and this, like they're showing us a lot of like background information that's so slow. Like you only have 6 episodes. Just cut to the chase. Like, I know he's fought like he's fought the Avengers before. Like, just say it. That's all I want. Like, don't show me a video of like any of the Avengers. Just say like, yeah, you fought the Avengers. We need you to do this. Like, I thought by the first episode he would already be like this detective. Maybe I'm leading it wrong with saying that he's going to be a detective, and maybe that's not what he's going to become. That's not what he's going to become. But like, I don't know. Like, I expected more, so I don't know. What are you thinking? I think I would just like more I guess female actresses. I just like when I was watching the show, besides that judge, I'm like, I didn't see anybody that I would be like, oh, she's cute, like, or anything like that. There was the guard that tries to kill him. I didn't find and then the judge. Cute. The judge, yeah. And then I think that's it.
Yeah, and then like the comedy was like some people liked it, and then the one guy that said doesn't take the ticket.
Yeah.
He's apparently a comedian, so a lot of people liked his like thing, and I didn't laugh at all. Like that wasn't funny to me.
I can't remember if I laughed at that when like he was going like Loki goes and the guy's like, oh, you got to make sure you have your ticket.
Yeah, when Loki does his thing, he's like, oh shit, like that was funny. But when the comedian was doing his thing, I didn't.
He's like whatever.
Yeah, I was like,
that kind of reminds me of Seinfeld because he did that stuff in Seinfeld.
But when you say it was like really slow, like it definitely was, because I'm going through my head and I'm trying to like I'm replaying the whole episode in my head, and I'm like, yeah, can I pinpoint something that was like interesting? There's not much besides like him having like that interview for like mentally thing, like that detective was asking like, why do you do these things? He goes back and he goes through like he sees his future.
Yeah.
At this point, he's only 2012 version of Loki, but he sees his future. And the one interesting thing I picked up was when he's in jail in Asgard in like the main timeline.
Yeah.
He tells the Dark Elves where to go to get Thor. Yeah. But it's actually his mom that ends up passing. Mad bad for him. I felt super bad because I didn't catch that like the first time I was watching. I never knew that was the case. Like does
it talk about how his mom died like in the main universe?
Like do you just in the show?
Died? Yeah. Or in the movies. Yeah, you're right, because when they showed him that, I never clocked in. Yeah. So like I'm like, oh, maybe they hinted it in the movies, because I know his mom died, but now that I think about it, I don't.
They did hint it, because they showed that exact scene that he sees. They showed us, and then the next scene was like the elves like hit up the main room. I think she's there with Thor's girl, Jane Foster, and I think that's where like she gets stabbed in the back. We see the whole death. We see the entire death.
I definitely remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. And then him seeing it, because he's like 2012 version. Imagine you like you see like 5 years or 2 years in the future yourself, and you see a decision you made, which was like you knew at the time was still a wrong decision, but you're like screw it, and then that led to your mom's death.
This guy packed his own mom. Oh, brother. I feel like I did feel bad for him. And when I was watching that scene, it reminded me of this Thor scene when Thor went back in time to see... He went back in time to see his mother and stuff like that. That was crazy. That was an emotional scene for me. But no, like I felt for him when he seen that video and how he felt. I was like, dang, that's crazy. But I never looked at it as like, obviously I should know like it's 2012 Thor or 2012 Loki, but I still kind of looked at it as like the future Loki looking back on his past. I don't know why I looked at it like that, but now I'm thinking, yeah, like that's him looking on his future.
Yeah. Beyond that, I can't think of anything interesting, but seeing they tell us that it's Loki's looking for Loki.
Yeah.
A different version of him. Besides that, I think of anything that's like super interesting off the first episode. So besides that, like Loki, and now we're assuming it's a female just because of everybody's rumors. How do you think that actress or character is going to be portrayed? Is it going to be sick, or like are you looking forward to it?
I don't know. I don't want to have like too much assumptions on what the character is going to be, because then I just want to be able to like take it in and it's be like,
oh, did I ruin that for you then?
No, because I don't know, like the speculation is not too much, but I don't want to like have an expectation of who that character is going to be, because I want them to tell me exactly like, oh, who she's going to be, but not like I want to see like, I don't know, because I'm now I'm imagining like a white girl with like maybe like black hair, like kind of like Loki has. Yeah. But they might do something mad different. Like they might do something mad different, and then I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like this is terrible, because it's not what I pictured. Because like now that I think about it, I think of like her and like Loki's sister. But like, you know, like they could do some like crazy outlandish thing, and then like she could be like completely different. Her character could be different. I don't know. I feel like it would be interesting to see. I just want that person just to be funny as well. Like I feel like I don't know, what, like they might make that person serious and not be Loki. I feel like there's too much interesting like things to like think about. But like I don't know. Do you have any expectations for that character?
I just hope if it's a girl, I just hope
She's
she's bad. Yeah, that's honestly like I don't like expect too much of like her making the season. Like the story would have to make the season for me.
I feel like that's gonna be like a season finale character.
Yeah,
I think so.
Leading into another movie.
No, I think it's gonna lead to Loki coming back to the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I don't expect them to just
Kill Loki off?
Bro, the weird thing is, I was thinking about this earlier, like, the Fast and Furious franchise has more, like, comebacks. Like, dead characters just coming back.
Come back? Yeah, Loki's gonna come back for sure. Is it weird? You don't think it's weird that, you want the girl character to be a baddie?
Why would that be weird?
I'm just saying, because it's still Loki at the end of the day.
It's a whole different actress.
Okay, I'm just.
So what are you trying to say? I find Loki's character
I'm just
attractive.
saying, when you say like, because at the end of the day, that's Loki, but I don't know.
Nah, man, I don't know what you're getting at, but that is not me.
Okay, I'm just asking the question. I just wanted to know. It's at the end of the day.
Let's move on. What do you have any expectations for the? I know you want Loki to be a detective. Or you thought it was gonna be this episode. So
do you think he's gonna be a detective?
I honestly did not watch the trailers whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
But I think he's gonna, from what you're saying, and from what like they're asking him in the first episode, I think he's gonna go after the person. But I don't think he's gonna arrest the person. That's just be my guesses.
I think he'll arrest a couple people. But then he's only going for one person. I was expecting a different. I don't know. Okay, so to answer your question, because I do this sometimes, but to answer your question, I have like high hopes for the show. I think it's gonna be better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier from what I've seen, and I think that it's gonna be like more fun, and I think it's gonna be like more like adventurous, less action but more adventurous, like them going places and then like them being on the move, and that's what I expect. How about yourself?
I think so too. I just hope it's not like TVA like. I didn't like the whole scenery of the TVA. Like, it seemed like they had a lot of tech, but they were going through, like, the 60s.
Yeah.
And, like, it just...
Oh, I hate when they do that
the vibe was just not nice, so... I hope it's, like, more traveling. Let me see the world.
Yeah.
And, like, bright colors. Worlds. Yeah, bright colors. Like, when he used the cube in the beginning and he went to, like, Mongolia.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, is this Mongolia where... what's that guy? Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is he gonna see like Genghis Khan like right off rip? That would be sick. And then he just saw some regular village people. I'm like, that was a letdown.
And then they did what did they do right after that?
The TVA came through and smoked them.
They did but they said reset the timeline or something like that.
Yeah, so they hit that little button thing that they have.
Yeah.
It's like a little device and it goes from like I think blue to purple, some color to purple.
Yeah.
And then it explodes and it cuts that timeline off.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Sad.
I thought it just reset. Like, I was like, what do they do? When they say that, what does that mean?
You're just watching the screen. You're not looking at the show.
I seen it. I know. I seen it explode, but I'm like, what happens? Like, what does it mean to reset the timeline? Like, I was thinking maybe it goes 10 minutes back or something. Like I had no idea.
That one, you know that cartoon that they show you in the TVA? She explains it. She explains like the timekeepers and everything. That.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but overall it was slow. Like I don't blame you for not like super detailed into it. So the next few episodes, I hope they're fire because like the show's it's a 6 for me. It's a 5 for him. 5.5 on average.
Only for the first episode.
Only for that first episode, which is 40 minutes. If you didn't like WandaVision's first 2 episodes, this equates to that. Yeah. I'd rather watch the WandaVision episodes. It's my personal opinion.
All right. Well, I feel like there's not much to add. Like,
there's not much.
Gonna be I'll be honest. This is probably gonna be the shortest episode ever.
It is quick because there's not much to say. So we just gotta like hold off for the next episode, which is in a few days. So it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm.
That's it. I literally can't think of anything else.
Do you think? Okay, just one last question. Do you think like you know how my prediction was prior? Like WandaVision is gonna be the best out of the 3.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be Loki, then Falcon. Do you think my prediction stands just off first episode? Because right now, in my opinion, it's shaky because Falcon looks like it's better.
If we're basing it off the first episode, then there's no way.
There's no shot.
But keep in mind, I didn't like Falcon's first episode.
What about the trajectory? Like, where do you think it's going to go?
Based off the first episode?
Yeah, we're looking at stock graphs. Where do you think this is going?
I think it's going to go straight to the trash. I'm not going to lie to you.
Not to the moon?
But that's what I think.
Okay, all right. that pretty much does it for this episode. So tune into the next one. Hopefully they give us a lot more to talk about and it's more interesting. But that's pretty much it. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and our YouTube page. If you have any comments, suggestions on what we should be watching, or you have any comments on like, hey Rudwan, you didn't see this coming, you gotta pick up on that or something, what I said.
Let us know.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments. But that's it, we're out.
All right, have
Peace.
a good one, guys.